Hello, it's me again. Today I'm going to show you how to get images. Hello, it's me again. Today I'm going to show you how to get images from Google's Open Image Database and convert them over to KITTI format and then run them in the TLT, the Transfer Learning Toolkit. And what's nice about the Google's OpenAI dataset is it's full of hundreds of different types of images, and they're all annotated because we know that's what makes all this kind of hard is you have to annotate everything. So we can get some images that are annotated. It just makes it easier on us. So I'm going to put a link to all the stuff we're going to go over. And but first we're going to start out here. This is the page we're going to get the images. So I got this, and they recommend in a virtual environment. Put it in a virtual environment. I recommend that too. So once we get this all loaded, this is the setup I've gotten. We're going to download a data set. We got a directory, a bird A directory, and a bird B directory. And then we want the format of our annotations to be Darknet, and we want 2000. So as you see, I built a directory here. It's empty. This is empty, so they're empty. So, and that's what these are: bird A, directory bird A, and directory bird B. So let's get this going and see what we get. So what I do is I'm going to pause this because it might take a little bit, and then I'll turn it back on when we get images. Alright, this whole process took about 3 minutes. As you can see, we got some birds. They downloaded some other birds. So I set 2000 images. I didn't explain that earlier. So here's our directories. Directory bird A. Now this is the CSV files. Now I'm not going to utilize these, but you guys might utilize it. What I'm going to utilize is the directory B, the bird B. This is the Darknet object name, bird. And then here's my images. So this is the format that the coordinates came in. And then these are the actual images. So we got a bunch of birds, bird. So we got a lot of birds. And we've got the corresponding coordinates for all the birds. So we got that. Now, what we need to do is we need to convert it into a KITTI format. So to do that, we're going to run this. I'll put a link to this. This is we're going to convert the data set into a KITTI format. So what we do is I'm going to go ahead and pause this while I kind of get everything prepared. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it. Okay, so we've downloaded our images. So then we go to here, we clone this into a folder, and what we do is we'll take the directory B. Now we're going to need this. We're going to have to copy this and this, but let's copy this first. Just copy the Darknet and the images. These are the coordinates. These are the images. And then what we do is we'll paste them go to the convert data sets that you clone from here. Go into that file. And I made this folder called bird and then bird KITTI. So the information that we're going to change is going to go here, and the output's going to be here. So it kind of likes a certain format. So I made the train and the valuation folder, and in that images and labels, and I basically just copied Darknet and images over into this folder and then renamed Darknet as labels. And then I did the same thing for valuation, images and labels, which is basically just these two with Darknet changed to labels. Okay. And then when you do that, we take the Darknet object names text, which is the bird, and then we take that and we put it in here, Darknet object names text. So it's going to take this and this, and convert it over to KITTI, and put it in here. So let's do this. As you can see, we set it here. Python 3 convert dataset.py, which is this, from YOLO, from path bird, which is this, to KITTI, to path bird KITTI, labels darknet object names.text, which is this. So let's get it running. Okay, hold on. Oh, we got a CD into convert dataset, so we need to be in that folder. Now let's try it. There we go. Yes. Alright, so I'm going to pause it while it does its thing. Okay, it's done. This took about 3 or 4 minutes, and the thing about it is it doesn't look like it's doing anything. So it's just, it doesn't like any lines or anything go by, but it is. Like I said, it took about 3 or 4 minutes, and once it was done, it created this. Created the images. They're like the bird images we had before. But now the labels are KITTI labels. They have the bird, and there's 15 places. So now what happens is we now have birds. We have images and labels that can be used by Transfer Leraning Toolkit. So, like I say, you can. I've downloaded like from the Google images, like books, cats, dogs. There's all kinds of stuff in there. Well, anyway, so now that we got this, so basically what I did is I just copied these two folders, the images and the label. And this is my Transfer Leraning Toolkit file, TLT experiments, data, and I have the testing and training. So in the training, what I did is I just basically took these, pasted them in here, and then relabeled them as image 2 and label 2. See, there's the birds, and there's the annotations. So basically, I just like took this, threw them in here, and relabeled them as image 2 and label 2. And then what I did was in the other folder, the valuation folder, I just took the image folder and I put it in testing. Now, here's another thing that I did. When the Transfer Leraning Toolkit goes to do interference on these and test them out, it looks for this format of wording to like find them so it can do interference on them. So what I did was I just took this folder, like this folder, and I ran it through like a link to this. It's just and what it does, it renames everything to numbers, and it's in this tools for image dataset like this. Let me see if I can get this to run here. So we want, well, I gotta get out of this one. So let's CD out of this, and now let's run Jupyter Notebook. See, because I already have this folder. Dataset tools. That's what this is. So in Dataset tools, let's go to Dataset tools. Oop, nope. And then this Jupyter Notebook. And this is a bunch of things I put in here you can download from GitHub on some how to do images and manipulate them. But what I do is I go down here and if you just run this 1, 2, 3 this little script. Just ignore this. This is just something I was doing. You run this, it'll rename them. It'll put them in this format. Because in this format, I'll show you later, that Transfer Leraning Toolkit's going to need this format when it goes to do interference on them. So that's the only thing. So let's close this out. So now we're ready for, now our database is ready for the Transfer Leraning Toolkit to do its magic on it. So what I'll do is I'm going to start up the Transfer Leraning Toolkit, and we're going to run a Darknet YOLO. We're going to run that example and use the images, the bird images that we created from the Google data set. So, all right. I'll be back. Alright, so we've got the Transfer Leraning Toolkit running, and we're running the YOLO example. So first thing we need to do is we need to connect all our stuff together. We don't need to do this because we already have a database already set up. So let's look at the spec to convert our images to TF records. Now this is fine, you know, image 2, label 2, that's what's in the training. And then ping random 2, so that's fine. So let's go ahead and make some TF records. I'm going to pause this while it does it. Alright, so it's made the TF records. As you can see, it's made them right there. And then as you scroll through, you can see them. And then let's look at this. Shows what it's done. And then let's look for, we're not going to use the ResNet 18. We're going to use the Darknet. So let's just look and see what we got here. And we can, over here, we can back this up. So, get into YOLO, TF records. So we're going to use the Darknet19. So let's use this. I guess we can still have that. Let's call it Darknet19. Okay, we got that, and we want to Darknet19. need that. Yeah, we need to go here in Darknet19. So let's see. We're going to download the model. While it's doing that, we'll prepare this for the next one. Where'd you go? So it's downloaded the Darknet19 Darknet. You can check that it's there. So it's there. Now we need to run our specs. Here's our train, YOLO3 resident. We're going to have to use this one. It's training specs. So we're going to have to get in here and change that to Darknet to 19. And then we need to put bird in here instead of car. We'll have bird replace car. So to do that, let's go over to here, spec file, YOLO3 Resnet 18. We could change that if you want, but I'm just going to keep it those wording. So we want changes to Darknet. 19. And let's see, I don't want to go 80 epochs. Let's do 50 so we can hurry this up. Sometimes you might have to, depending on like what your GPU is, you might have to get this down to 8 or I know I've had some issues with the memory issues. I've got a 1080 Ti. So, I still kind of have some issues. So you might have to lower this to 8 or if you have problems. Everything else stayed the same. All this is the same. But we want to change this to bird. Bird. And then everything else is pretty much the same. Okay, so with this file save, and let's just kind of go back over here, just make sure our changes are there. Let's see, Darknet 19, 50, bird. So we can go ahead and run our training now. We need to make a folder to put our training. And then pre-train Resnet 18, so we want this to be Darknet 19, and then right here Darknet 19. And then this is Darknet 19. Let's see, is that right? Darknet 19. Let's go up here and look. Darknet 19. So we've got it all switched over. We've set our specs. So now let's run this. So this is going to take a while. So what I'm going to do is once it gets running, I'm going to shut it down or pause it and bring it back up when it's done. So we got a little failure here. It didn't go. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the spec file. We're going to change this to 8. Save. And we'll see if we can get it to go. Alright, I'll pause it. Okay, I'm back. This ran. We did our first training, and as you can see, let's see, it picked up the bird. So let's do a little prune it, and then we'll try it again. Like I say, I had to go back to the specs folder, change that to 8. Let's close that. So we got this, and then we don't need that. Evaluate the train model. We don't need to do that. Make a directory, and then we're going to prune it. Let's change that to Darknet. Darknet19 and let's see, okay. Cannot find file. What is it looking for? What do we prune? YOLO Darknet19. Let's see. Experiment directory prune. There's nothing in there. Experiment directory prune. Weights YOLO Darknet19. Let's see. Weights. Unpruned. Weights. YOLO Darknet. What can't it find? Hold on, let me pause it while I figure this out. Okay. What I had to do is I had to change this right here to 50. This said epoch on there, so I went ahead and just changed it to whatever this one was. And it liked it, so it pruned it. You can see it got it done, and this says show the prune model. YOLO Darknet19 prune TLT. Here's our spec file. So we're going to have to change it. Same thing, Darknet19. So we go to our retrain, and we want this to be Darknet 19, and then let's see, 16. We'll go ahead and put this at 8 also, so we know we had an issue with that. Let's epoch, set this at 50 also. I mean, you know, the more you go, the better it is. I just want to go 50 just so I can get it over fairly quickly. Let's see. Everything else is the same. We're going to change this to bird. Bird and bird. Okay, and then save. So we want to save. So what we did is we've changed this to bird. All this is the same path. We've set our training batch size to 8, epoch of 50. Change this to Darknet and 19. Save. So now we can do is we can run our training. If you want to double check that, just run this again. It should bring up the changed one. bird. So let's make a directory to put our stuff in. Let's go back to here. Make a directory for our retrain model. There you go. And what do we want? We want retrain Darknet. No, we want to keep that because that's a spec file. We didn't change that. We want to change this to Darknet. Darknet19. And let's go. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this while it does the retraining. Okay, so we're done with our retraining. And as you can see, this is the pruned model, so we've got this. And then we don't need to check on this. We know this is all there. So we're not going to evaluate the retrain model. Now we're going to go visualize in Inference. So this is where I was talking about. This is what it's going to look for. Image 2, and this is the format it's going to look for. That's why I said earlier that I renamed all these with this kind of format, just so this could find it. You don't have to, but that's the easiest way for it to find it. So what we'll do is it'll go get some samples, get some test images. Got test images, and then we're going to run Inference on it. So I made some, I had to change this to Darknet. I changed this to 050. We use this, so let's get going. And then I'm going to pause while it runs this. Okay, so we've run the visualize Inference on it. As you can see, it's done it. So now we're going to visualize it. So let's do this. And now let's get some images. I'm doing something, Adrian. Give me a second. And you can see here's our images. You did a pretty good job. Bird, birds, bird. So it learned it and it did good job. Bird, birds. It's a whale, but thinks it's a bird. And then there's a bird, bird, bird. So it did a good job. All right, and then the rest, then there's a deployment if you want to keep on going and deploy it. All right, well that's it. Like I say, I'll leave a link to all the what you need to do this yourself. So good luck. Thanks.